Everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about uh, probiotics, and we have seen a lot of, over last few months we've seen a lot of probiotics being floated in the market, right? With claims of improving metabolic health, reproductive health, brain health, digestive health, skin health, and a lot of these things. So let us decode the science behind it. So the questions you should ask before grabbing these OTC standard probiotics, right? So let's start with basics. So we know that digestion starts from our mouth, right? And from a probiotics perspective, right? Saliva in our mouth is mildly acidic and has an antibacterial effect. So there, there's a chances that the probiotic may dissolve in the mouth and may not confer health benefit, right? Second is, even if it crosses mouth, it has to encounter highly acidic stomach acid and digestive enzymes that can kill probiotics, right? So this is stomach, as we know, is really acidic, right? Third is small intestine. So if its probiotic is clearly engineered, so probably we'll discuss that in the next slide, right? So it will go to small intestine where it does a lot of actions, like it facilitates the immune system interaction, right? And there are certain functional epithelium activities which happens, which permits or blocks the absorption of the beneficial molecule in the bloodstream, right? And again, large intestine, right? So a lot of metabolite production happens here, right? And here also there is a colonizing resistance, right? So what I mean by that, suppose if some stranger comes to your home, you won't uh, allow him or her to enter, right? Similarly, so when it comes to your colon, there's a direct colonization resistance, which means there's independent of human host, with these indigenous bacteria already living in the gut would compete or inhibit them for the resources, for the nutrients available, right? Second is indirect colonization, where through production of various peptides, bile acid concentration, protease, amylase, and all these through interaction with human host, right? They can inhibit uh, the availability of nutrients to these new entrants, and that is how a lot of these probiotics may not find their place in their gut and you know may be expelled from the feces, right? So these are there are a lot of hurdles for the probiotics to actually move from mouth to the gut, right? And again, these all have to be considered, and how do we protect that probiotic from being attacked by all these hostile environment is the key, right? uh, so again, we know microbiome is a factory for metabolites or molecule production, right? So it's a lot of these metabolites which confer health benefit is not a certain microbe or a probiotic, but what metabolite it triggers determines whether it is going to confer health benefits or not, right? So these metabolites are something which gives us vitamin, mineral, neurotransmitters, short chain fatty acids, right? Antioxidant, a lot of these things, right? So these obviously these oral administered probiotics do help in metabolite production, and but there are a lot of multiple factors involved, right? Before probiotic can confer health benefit, right? So right selection of probiotics. First step is right selection, and right selection, again, first thing is we have to understand our unique biology. What kind of metabolites are low, what kind of metabolites are high, whether it is pro-inflammatory, whether it is anti-inflammatory, what specific strains, not species, right? We need to understand what specific strains are required. So if you see the labels of a lot of these probiotics, they will mention only the name of species, not strains, right? And that is a biggest problem, because different species would have different impact on our health, and most of these companies would prefer including strains, right? uh, which are less costly and which may not confer health benefit, right? So first thing is, you have to understand that if the product label does not have strains, and probably they may be adding any of the strain which may or may not confer health benefit, or you should ask questions, which strain is there, right? That is really, really important, right? And again, whether these probiotics have been launched after going through numerous studies and trials on which determining which metabolites it will trigger, right? That is really, really important. Second thing is the mechanism, right? How it will safely be delivered to the small intestine after passing through, stomach acid, the bile acids, right? The bile salt, the degrading enzymes, and a lot of these things, right? So it has to be safely delivered to small intestine, because here it triggers a lot of immune system interactions, and here it determines whether the molecules would be absorbed in bloodstream or not, right? So again, this is the most important thing, right? So first thing is the encapsulation technique. So to understand that probiotic has to be in a capsule form. Powdered form is just waste of money. Powdered form is just like a glucose or an ORS packet, right? It is going to be destroyed in uh, you know uh, in stomach acid. And even if they claim that we have this probiotic encapsulation technique and blah blah blah, right? But the thing is, a lot of these standard, non-patented and standard applicable probiotic encapsulation technology just uses emulsifier, vegetable oil, or artificial sweetener, which is therefore harmful. And again, it could not protect themselves from the environment of the stomach acid, right? So the technique should ensure high viable count in small intestine. It should reach the small intestine, right? So that it can trigger the important immune system interaction, right? So again, it has to be in a capsule form, right? Which with the inner and outer swallowable capsule, right? So that's the way I have shown here, right? So the outer capsule is something can be made of cellulose, prebiotic polyphenols. It should not have any emulsifier artificial sweeteners, right? This shields the strain, which is the inner, the red one is the strain, the inner, from oxygen, moisture, heat, and light, right? So even if a lot of these things get dissolved in stomach or small intestine, right? The probiotic strain is safely delivered to a small intestine and large intestine, right? So again, after how much time it will dissolve in stomach is also important, right? So these are the questions you should ask, right? So again, there's a large journey to be traveled from the mouth to the gut, and then there's a lot of these stomach acid, bile acid, digestive enzymes, peptides, that all these things, bile acid concentrations, all these things, the probiotic has to survive. So essentially, it has to be in capsule form, which should have encapsulation technology, right? Which does not have wrong things like artificial sweeteners, which protect the strain from getting destroyed, from getting killed, right? So finally, the question you should ask is, so do the probiotics survive the production, self-life, and digestion, right? That is really, really important, right? Until it doesn't reaches your gut, so there's no point of spending a lot of money on this, right? Have the benefits clinically studied on humans or not, and have been these studies been peer reviewed or not, right? So again, these are really, really important pertinent questions which you should understand, right? So again, have they worked on humans or not? The entire process, the encapsulation technique, whether it has been worked on, and on preventing the probiotic from getting destroyed, right? Just probiotic contains strains, not just species, right? So these are the essential questions you should ask. First thing is, powdered form is just waste of money. It is not going to help. Second thing is to understand that it should have strains, not species, right? If the label has not mentioned any strains, probably ask about it, right? Third thing is, it should be able to survive the entire stomach acid and all these, harmful, harsh environment inside the body, right? Then all these capsule, if you even if capsules are to understand whether the outer capsule, right, is made up of artificial sweeteners or polyphenols or antioxidants, right? So these are some questions you should understand, right? Metabolites production is something which is you should understand which metabolite it will trigger, right? So this is really, really important. So OTC probiotics may not be able to answer these questions, and these are really important from your health perspective, right? So that's it what we'll discuss today. Thanks and have a good day ahead. Thank you.